Hello, my name is Jennifer Rose, and I chose to do my leisure project on the sport of golf. I chose this for two reasons. Firstly, my husband is a scratch golfer, and I'd like to join him more often. And secondly, I feel there is a negative stigma in society around females in golf, and I was hoping to debunk the stereotype. The background to the golf game is quite intricate, as the game, or something similar to today's game, can be dated back to as early as the 10th century in China. The more reliable history shows that golf originated in Scotland in the 15th century, however, with a female queen of that era being the first documented female golfer. This woman was Mary, Queen of Scots, and she also coined the term caddy, which is still used today. The first golf tournament was played in Scotland in 1860. This was known as the British Open. Another notable milestone in the history of golf was the opening of the very first golf club in North America, known as Canada's Montreal Club. The sport of golf is played widely today by both men and women. The start of the LPGA, which is a female division of the PGA Tour, the PGA Tour being the original men's tour, marked a very important time for women in the sport of golf. Originally, the LPGA was a charity-only tour and started in the 1950s. The LPGA received their very first TV coverage in 1963 and was the very first televised sport with women playing. As the popularity of women in golf increases, so too do the sponsorships, and therefore the possible winnings for players in female golf tournaments. There have been issues and controversies about differences in salaries and winnings for men and women, but a lot has to do with the sponsor interest, and this is brought about by society paying more attention to females in golf. Another recent controversy was when women were asking to play the PGA Tour events, which are male-only tour events, and certain male golfers, specifically Vijay Singh, felt it was very unfair, whereas female golfers were stating shouldn't the best in the game be able to play any tournament, not just males? This goes to show that there are still many hoops for women to jump to get the same recognition as men do in the game of golf. The good thing is that the success of certain superstars, such as Annika Sorenstam and Michelle Wie, and their sponsorships of academies and school programs have brought about more female attention to the sport of golf. The history of golf is that it's a sport predominantly played by men, and men of wealth more specifically. It is expensive to play, for equipment, and also to join certain clubs and golf courses. This has forced a lot of lower-class individuals to choose other games, proving that golf itself tends to be a sport that is prejudiced based on sex and social class. Not, of course, a fault of the game itself, but of society, and of course it is a great feat for women that things are getting better. However, there is still a lot that needs to change. Thankfully, the passing of the Title IX Amendment occurred when it did, both to take away discrimination based on gender in the world of education, but also in the world of athletics. It passed at around the same time the LPGA was coming into play, which was very successful for women. It allowed women to play and have their athletics funded the way males do. My experience with golf was both nerve-wracking and tense. I found the game extremely difficult and rarely even made contact with the ball. It looks much easier than it is. I was blatantly aware that it was all men at the club, and not a woman besides myself was in sight. It really did make me feel like I was standing out and making a spectacle of myself, which made it very hard to relax and focus on the game. I was trying to take direction from my husband with putting and driving the ball. However, sadly, I feel with the presence of so many males and no females, I was a little bit of a putz. I do feel golf is more of a male sport because there is not enough female interest. The club I attended had no women's club, not because they didn't want one, but because there were not enough female members. I feel women need to force themselves out of their comfort zone and into the world of golf more often. Everyone was very friendly. It was just unfortunately a male-dominated environment. In conclusion, I do feel that although golf is an extremely enjoyable and difficult game, it's a game that I could possibly one day master. With a scratch golfer as a husband, I hope to play and learn a lot more. My goal would be to start a women's club. The way to do this would be to get more of my friends together, to play more, to get out there, hit the ball, and practice. And maybe one day together we can band and create more of a women's atmosphere and environment at the club. I think it is a great sport for women because we can compete against each other, and also it is not only a strength-based or speed-based sport, which men usually are better at. It is a sport that uses precision and a lot of mental aspects as well, which benefits women especially. Thank you for your time.